Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gonna do a product review today. Already bought this, had this 3 months, the chainsaw, so I figured I'd make an update video like I said I would so people will know. And today, talking about this guy. This was the dereal 3816S I bought off Amazon. This was 120 bucks I think with shipping and everything. And it's 38 cc's. I wanted a small limb saw. It come with a 14-inch bar, which was not this bar, which I will get into in a minute. And the saw still runs, still works, still cuts, still does everything like it's supposed to. It's not a bad saw. Not a great saw either. So, which I kind of expected. And I'll tell you why I bought this. I explained it in the first video. Bought electric chainsaw for the wife. She cuts the little saplings around the place and cleans up, and I cut wood for a living, you know, so I do a lot of big stuff. But I bought this for her as kind of an upgrade. Just a small 14-inch bar, and you know, a little soft. She tore it up, it didn't matter, and it's a little bit heavier than I wanted it to be, but kind of keeps it from getting slung loose everywhere too that way. But you know, with an electric chainsaw, as soon as you let off the throttle, it stops. It's got an electric engine. These are gas. They'll kind of, you know, still spin after you let off the throttle. And got audience coming check on me here. So anyways, always something going on the farm. But anyway, bought this for her, kind of an upgrade to get into. This is probably as far as she'll go, just small limb saw. But I wanted to use it for lemon saws, and it still works, still does all that. But for the money I paid for this 38 cc saw, I wouldn't waste my money. The 62cc dereal was another $15 or $20. So if you're buying that one, you'd probably be all right. And the, oh, how do I want to put it? Anyways, the bigger saw is not a bad deal, but if you're going to use these all the time, you don't want to mess with these. For another, let's see, time I did that, and I've had to buy the bar and a chain because all these were universal junk on the videos on the chain, and I had a problem. Hopefully we don't get rained out, but my chain was out of round. It would get tight and loose coming around the bar, and all the videos unanimously had problems with chains. So, all right, it's chain, no big deal. Tossed in the scrap pile, let it hold off, didn't think twice about it because everybody said that. Well, come to find out, it was the bar. The idler sprocket on the end of it was machined wrong, and one side was a little bit taller than the rest of it, and it was oblonged. And it would make that chain go tight and loose on the bottom as it come around, and that caused a bunch of problems. And that was a major thing. So the time I bought the chain and the bar, I got 30 bucks in that, and I had 120 in this. You know, I could have went uptown, another 40 bucks. I could have had a steel 170 that weighed, you know, 5 pounds less. Just go buy an Echo little CS310 or a steel 170. You're way better off for a limb saw. And like I said, arm giving out. But like I said, if you're just a homeowner and you're going to do occasional limbing and stuff, these are all right. I don't like them. I mean, it still runs and works like it's supposed to, but for the money, just go buy a name brand. And I haven't give up on the Chinese saws entirely. I've been looking at the bigger ones, and they've got good reviews. There was nothing on this. But the Hall's Pharmas and the Neotex, which are exact carbon copies of the Husqvarnas and the Steels. And I'm going to try one of them, 70 and 90. I think they're 72, 92 cc, or 73, 92, somewhere in that ballpark. And they're supposed to be really good, and they're really good for the money. You know, 70 some cc steel at my local steel dealer, I forgot model numbers, but it was in that ballpark. They're like $1,200 some dollars. It's insane for what it is. I mean, it's a stupid little 2-stroke engine. It shouldn't be that high. To me personally, I mean, for what it is, I think half of that would be a fair price, or 800 bucks, but maybe for what it is, even though it's a steel. But you know, you can get the Hall's Farm or the Neotex from 270 to 370 with the power head without the bar. So kind of looking at that route. But these, if you just do occasional use, these are fine. But I wouldn't recommend them if you're doing them all the time. Because the time I bought that, I could have got out a name brand saw. And I'll show you my one major beef with these. Let me set the camera up. Or I'll tell you what, I'll just come back after I get it apart and I'll show you what I really, really hate about these. And why I will never buy one of these small Chinese chainsaws again. So hang on. Alright, back. Got it tore down. This is one of the main things I absolutely hate about these little cheap saws. This backwards engineered centrifugal clutch. I hate this thing. Even the small Steels and small Echoes, small Huskies, all of them, they don't have this BS. I hate this stupid thing. And what I hate about it, let me get this set up. You know, with a normal one, you can just, bear with me here, I'm doing this all one-handed, so. With a normal saw, you can do this right here, get back, you know, do that, pull your bottom down here and get your chain link all the way around. You can just flop that right on there. Getting closer. But you can just flop that right on and pull it when the clutch is like a normal chainsaw. And I know they do that for cost because they can put everything in one piece on this. But after you run regular saws, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. There's no junky home light. Still runs, by the way, but I brought the bar off of it. Here's the difference in the clutch and what I mean by reverse engineered. This is your common good saws, Steel, Husky, Echo. You know, the sprocket is on the outside, not underneath on the inside. And it's got a plastic guard that keeps it from falling off the sprocket and going into that, which I don't like because it does get under there from time to time. It has. Whereas these are sitting right on top of the metal and they can't. But it's so easy because you can take this and, like I said, just once you get it, you can just flop that right on, you know, like I said, one-handed, and booyah. Well, you'd have that on. Like I said, I'm doing all this one-handed. But you can flop that on so easily, you know, just like that. And it's so much nicer. Like I said, I absolutely hate this design. I will never buy another one just because of this. And I know that's not going to be a big deal to some of you, but when you're out in the woods changing these chains or doing something, you know, you pack spare ones, it's not like it can't be done, but it's a major pain when you're used to these others and you can just flop them on and go. Because you got to put the chain on first and weasel your bar and get it all set and then try to line it up, you know, with all that on that side versus this side. You know, you can just flop the chain and everything right over, put it on, you're done. It's so quick, simple, and easy. But as far as running and working, the saw still runs and works. Not a bad little saw, but on the small ones, if you're wanting a small limber or something, just go buy a name brand saw. I'm here to tell you right now, it's a waste of money to spend that, and then I had to buy the bar and the chain, which put me at about 150 bucks. Time I did that, I could have put 40 bucks with it to my local steel dealer up here in town and got a 170. Good bar and had the normal clutch. It would have had a clutch like this, you know, instead of having it like that stupid thing. And I won't ever mess with these small ones again. You know, if I try one, it's going to be one of the big ones, and I've looked at them, but there was nothing on these, no reviews, and I wanted to try these. But even the ones plumb up to 62 cc's and 65 cc saws, I think, any of those Chinese saws, you're going to run into these clutches, and I do not like them. They work, but they're a pain. I don't like them. So I guess that's my review. I can't really give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's all right, but it's not great. But if you're going to buy a small one in that 38 cc line, just spend the money and go buy a name brand one. Now, if you'd put 20 bucks with this and got the big 62 cc's, you'd be money ahead. And that bar deal might have just been a fluke, and I've got just a batch out of a bad run or something. I don't know. So, like I said, it still runs, cuts, and works, so I'm not going to down it, and I've cut a lot of wood with it in those 3 months since I've had it, so I'm not really going to bash it, you know. But I don't like it. And for the money, like I said, I could have got a steel for another 40 bucks and weighed 5 pounds less, which is pretty important when you want a small one to limb with anyway. And like I said, I bought it for the wife too to start, so. And I wanted to try one, so I did. But if I buy one that's not name brand, it's going to be the big monsters, the 70 and 90 cc's for the big logs, because I got some huge ones out here. But anyway, there's my review of the dereal chainsaw. Like I said, if you're an occasional user and stuff, you're great. You'd be fine if you bought the big saw on that 62cc or 52cc's. There's different ones in these Chinese lines, but don't waste your money on the 38cc's. I know the steels are 30, but trust me, I've run those little 170s. They cut as good as this thing does. ACCs ain't gonna make or break nothing. But you could have had the good clutch, a name brand saw with good quality parts, and been money ahead for another 40 bucks. Had I known that, I wouldn't even have bought this. So, I'm trying to save you guys the headache of going through this. So here's my update video. Hope I didn't rant too much, but I wanted you to know. And stay tuned, because I will buy one of those big 70 and 90 cc saws later. It's on my book, because I'm needing something bigger than that 50 cc I got. And I got some 30-inch diameters up here and some even bigger than that. So need something big, 24, 28-inch bar. You know, it's kind of hard cutting on both sides with a 20, trying to get through some of that. So, and I guess that's it for this video. So I hope this helped you. And if it does, you know, great. You won't have to go through the headache I did. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. You'll get to see more of the chainsaw videos, farming videos, all the stuff going on, and builds and projects and everything else we got going on. And I guess that's it. So as always, like and subscribe. Catch you on the next video. And I'm going to go in before it rains me out. Bye.